When we recognize an object, can we not recognize it without light? Yes, without light we cannot perceive objects. Light is essential for our perception of objects. In the absence of light, there is no light reflected from objects, and as a result our eyes cannot see objects. When we see objects, the light reflected from those objects is captured on the retina of our eyes. The retina contains photoreceptor cells that, when stimulated, send signals to the brain. The brain interprets these signals to recognize the shape, color, position, and other characteristics of objects. Therefore, in the absence of light, there is no light reflected from objects to be captured on the retina. Without light reaching the retina, signals are not transmitted to the brain, and consequently, objects cannot be perceived. Of course, in the absence of light, there are cases where we can still perceive objects through other senses. For example, in darkness we can perceive objects through sound or touch. However, since vision is one of our primary senses, the absence of light presents significant challenges in perceiving objects. Thus, it can be said that light is essential when we perceive objects. When we perceive objects without light, we cannot recognize them. Our eyes detect light, which forms the shape of objects on the retina. When the image is formed on the retina, it is transmitted to the brain through the optic nerve, and the brain interprets this image to recognize the object. Therefore, in the absence of light, there is no light reflected from objects to form an image on the retina, and consequently, we cannot recognize the object. Of course, even in the absence of light, it is possible to recognize objects through other senses, such as sound, smell, and touch. However, these senses have limitations in comparison to vision when it comes to recognizing objects. Therefore, light plays a crucial role in our ability to perceive objects. Without light, we face significant challenges in recognizing objects. The following explains the specific reasons why we cannot recognize objects without light. The eye is the organ that detects light. Our eyes detect light and form the image of objects on the retina, a thin layer located inside the eye, densely populated with photoreceptor cells. These photoreceptor cells detect light and send signals to the brain. The brain interprets the signals sent from these cells to recognize objects. Without light, there is no image formed on the retina. In the absence of light, there is no light reflected from objects to form an image on the retina. If there is no image on the retina, the brain cannot recognize the object. Light provides essential information for recognizing objects. It conveys information about the shape, color, texture, size, and other characteristics of objects, which is necessary for accurate recognition. Without light, this crucial information cannot be obtained, making it difficult to recognize objects accurately. In conclusion, without light, we encounter significant difficulties in perceiving objects. This is because light is an essential element in recognizing objects.